Welcome, my name is Hafid Layouni. I am professor at UPF and my main teaching duties are around statistical analysis. Over the next module, I will be introducing to you the main notions of categorical data analysis, and then we will have the opportunity to summarize some few important concepts from the course. Let me start with a simple example. Let's imagine we would like to explore possible relationship between passive smoking and breast cancer. You have 240 women in the study, 28 with a previous diagnosis of disease and 12 without. For each woman, previous exposition to tobacco was reported. Let me ask you to answer the following questions. Could you identify variables in the study? Which one can be considered as the response and the explanatory variable? Which are continuous or categorical? I'm sure you have been able to answer the questions. We have two variables. Variable exposition to tobacco can take two values, yes or no, and variable disease also can take the same values. We can consider the disease as the response variable, also called the dependence variable, and exposition as the explanatory variable, also called independence variable. Obviously, both are categoricals. In such situation, with the two categorical variables where the goal is to look for association between both, the recommended statistical test is chi-square test. Data are usually tabulated along what we call contingency table. As in all statistical testing, let's identify and express our working hypothesis. The null hypothesis is that both variables are not associated. This can also be stated in different ways. For instance, the incidence of breast cancer in smoking and no-smoking women is similar. Then, our alternative hypothesis is that the incidence of breast cancer is higher in smoking women than in no-smoking women. Or, both variables are independent. The rationale of our test is to look for the expected values of each cell in our contingency table under the null hypothesis, and then compare the observed values with the expected values under the null hypothesis. The test statistic will summarize the discrepancy between observed and expected values and help us to decide if the null hypothesis is able to explain the observed data. How can we calculate the expected values? As you may remember from some old lectures on statistics, the probability of two independent events is the product of their individual probabilities. In our case, the probability of smoking and cancer is equal to the probability of smoking multiplied by the probability of cancer. In our case, it will be 100 divided by 240 multiplied by 28 divided by 240, which will give us 0.0486. Given we would like to know the expected value of both events to happen in a sample of 240 individuals, we have to multiply this probability by 240. This will give us 11.67 individuals should be observed if both events were independent. In similar way, we can estimate the expected values of the other categories. The test statistic is now calculated as follows. We will calculate the summatory of the square of the deviation of observed and expected divided by expected values. If observed and expected are quite similar, then the test statistic will be small or close to zero, which indicate data are consistent with the null hypothesis. This statistics follows a chi-square distribution, So we will use this distribution to calculate the probability of the observed value or higher. There are many chi-square distributions described by their degrees of freedom. To calculate the degrees of freedom in this case, we can use the formula columns minus 1 multiplied by rows minus 1. And it comes out to be 1 in our case. Your statistical software or the use of a chi-square table allows us to calculate this probability as smaller than 0.05. And the conclusion is there is enough evidence breast cancer and exposition to tobacco are associated. This test calculates an approximate p-value. This approximation is good enough if the total number of observations exceed 20 and expected values are higher than 5. If data do not meet these requirements, Fisher exact test should be used. To report the strength of the association between both variables, we may use relative risk or odd ratios. In this context, those who have the disease may be called cases and healthy individuals may be called control. To calculate the relative risk, we count how many of those who have been exposed to the risk factor have the disease in relation to those who have not been exposed to the risk factor and have the disease. In our example, 20% of those who have been exposed have the disease, compared to 5.7% of those who have not been exposed to the risk factor. The ratio of these two values give a relative risk of 3.5. It shows us that the strength of the association between the exposition and the disease is such that those who have been exposed have 3.5 more risk in relation to those who have not. Another way of reporting the strength of the association is to calculate the odd ratio. This statistic is quite similar to relative risk and have several statistical features that make it widely accepted in the field of association studies. Moreover, it can be calculated without taking into account the disposition of variables in the contingency table. In a similar way than relative risk, odd ratio of 1 is an indication of no association. However, an odd ratio statistically higher or smaller than 1 indicates association. In our example, the odd ratio is 4.125, which has similar interpretation than relative risk. To test for statistical significance of a given odd ratio, following formula can be used. In this formula, A, B, C, and D are observed values in the contingency table. The standard error of the odd ratio is equal to the root square of 1 divided by E plus 1 divided by B plus 1 divided by C plus 1 divided by D. And the confidence interval at 95% of the odd ratio is equal to the logarithm of the odd ratio plus minus 196 by the standard error of the odd ratio. Odd ratio and relative risk are special class of statistics called effect size. In the next video of this course, we will deal with effect size issue. I hope after this video, you are able to identify properly situations in which your variables are categorical and apply the appropriate statistical test.